Is this as also as simple as they were desperate?
He better strike gold with Bo Nix.
For years, Bo Nix was boxed into a narrative that never truly fit him, and that's where the real story begins. From the moment he entered college football, the label followed him everywhere. Limited, system quarterback, safe but unspectacular. Those words stuck even when the tape told a different story. As sources claim, league evaluators quietly admitted that Bo Nix was never judged on the same curve as other quarterbacks. Mistakes were magnified, wins were minimized, and growth was brushed off as scheme help. Meanwhile, other quarterbacks got endless excuses for bad reads, bad mechanics, or bad situations. The truth is, Bo Nix survived chaos early, evolved through pressure, and mastered multiple systems while still being doubted.
Pick, to me, Bo Nix was a third-round guy.
I have never in my life seen a more obvious bust pick than Bo Nix.
At Auburn, the environment was unstable. Coaching changes, inconsistent offensive philosophies, and constant roster turnover forced Nix to play hero ball far too often. Yet even in that chaos, he showed flashes that made NFL scouts pause: arm strength to hit deep outs, mobility to escape collapsing pockets, and toughness to keep getting up after hits. As sources claim, internal scouting reports noted his resilience and football IQ early on, but public narratives never caught up. The media painted him as erratic while ignoring how often he was asked to do everything himself. Then came Oregon, and that's when the story flipped, but not loud enough for everyone to notice.
I wonder, because the roster, the O-line set, the D-line set, the pass rush, the receivers, would Sean Payton draft another quarterback? I'm dead serious. Bo Nix has regressed badly. His completion percentage is now towing that backup quarterback line from 66.5 to 60. His passer rating has plummeted, mid-90s to mid-80s. He's going to have more turnovers this year.
Nix didn't just improve, he transformed. Completion percentage soared, decision-making tightened, ball placement became surgical. He stopped forcing hero throws and started dissecting defenses with timing and rhythm. As sources claim, Oregon's staff unlocked his strengths by letting him control protections, read leverage pre-snap, and operate with tempo. The result? One of the most efficient quarterbacks in college football history. Yet critics still whispered that it was too easy, too clean, or too scripted. That's the scary part nobody wanted to say out loud. Bo Nix wasn't just executing plays, he was mastering structure. He learned how to win from the pocket, how to punish blitzes, how to take free yards instead of chasing highlights.
The most accurate passer in college football history. First at the end of the half, 2 minute. First at the end of the game in 2 minutes. Second in red zone. Fewest sacks. First in time to get. So, number one, he's extremely smart. He handles the protections, and he's a tough sack. I mean, the ball comes out, and at times, you know, he can hang in a longer, maybe with a progression. But I think, aside from the mental, then that day, and even his pro day, his arm strength was extremely impressive.
NFL teams quietly love that stuff, even when fans don't. As sources claim, several front offices graded his mental processing higher than quarterbacks drafted ahead of him. That detail didn't trend on social media, but it changed draft boards behind the scenes. When draft night came, the public reaction said everything. Shock, confusion, outrage. People asked how Bo Nix went that high, ignoring the fact that coaches saw something far more dangerous than raw athleticism, reliability under pressure, and growth without ego. The league wasn't scared of his arm, it was scared of how fast he learned. And once he landed with a coaching staff that values discipline, structure, and adaptability, the fear quietly grew. Because quarterbacks like Bo Nix don't flame out loudly. They take over slowly, then all at once. What separates Bo Nix from the noise isn't just stats or highlights. It's the stuff defenses can't game plan for.
There were two picks in I think the entire draft that I gave an F. One, Michael Penix, we just went over that. The second was Bo Nix, 12th overall to the Broncos. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just like the Falcons have been like this front and center laughing stock for the last decade. But Bo Nix at 12 is just as crazy. I think it's even worse than Penix at 8. Maybe it's better because Nix will play this year, but in terms of like talent, I don't get it.
As sources claim, veteran NFL coaches studying his college and early pro tape noticed something unsettling. Nix processes information at an elite pace. He identifies coverage rotations early, understands leverage, and rarely panics when his first read disappears. That calm doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from repetition, discipline, and obsession with detail. Those traits don't trend online, but they win games in December and January. Defensive coordinators reportedly noticed how Nix manipulates safeties with his eyes, subtly moves linebackers with his shoulders, and resets his base faster than most young quarterbacks. These aren't flashy tricks, they're survival skills, and quarterbacks who master them early tend to stick around for a long time. As sources claim, one assistant coach described Nix as annoyingly efficient, the kind of quarterback who turns defensive mistakes into quiet touchdowns without drama. What really rattles teams is his adaptability. Nix has already operated in drastically different offensive systems. Power-heavy concepts, spread tempo, RPO-based attacks, and pro-style reads. That versatility means defenses can't rely on confusing him with exotic looks forever. He's already seen it. He's already failed, adjusted, and succeeded. That learning curve happened before he ever stepped onto an NFL field, and that head start matters more than raw arm talent ever will. Another overlooked weapon? Mobility with purpose. Nix doesn't scramble just to scramble. He moves to throw. He escapes pressure while keeping his eyes downfield, forcing defenders to choose between containing him or covering receivers. As sources claim, that dual threat stresses defenses in ways that don't show up on box scores. It breaks discipline, it creates coverage busts, and it wears teams down late in games. Inside locker rooms, teammates reportedly gravitate toward him because he doesn't flinch. Missed throw? Reset. Bad series? Next drive. No sulking, no finger pointing. That emotional consistency builds trust fast. Coaches value quarterbacks who stabilize chaos, not amplify it. And Nix does exactly that. The scary truth? He's not chasing greatness, he's building it methodically. Here's where the conversation gets uncomfortable for critics. Bo Nix hasn't even peaked yet. As sources claim, performance analysts tracking quarterback development believe his best football is still ahead because his game isn't built on athleticism alone. It's built on fundamentals, preparation, and adaptability. That combination ages well. Quarterbacks who rely solely on physical traits fade fast. Quarterbacks who rely on processing and anticipation last decades. Nix's arm strength is more than sufficient, but it's his timing that elevates everything. He throws receivers open. He anticipates breaks. He trusts windows before they appear. That confidence only grows with reps and chemistry. As sources claim, coaches believe his accuracy will jump even more once timing with NFL receivers fully syncs. That's a dangerous projection for defenses already struggling to contain him. Another layer of upside comes from coaching alignment. Being paired with a system that values structure, play action, and quarterback autonomy plays directly into his strengths. Nix doesn't need to be reinvented. He needs to be refined. And refinement is where careers are made, quietly, consistently, ruthlessly. The scary part is how little panic exists in his game. Pressure situations don't spike his heart rate. Late downs don't speed up his mechanics. That composure can't be coached. It's earned through failure and repetition. Nix already paid those dues, and now the payoff is coming into focus. The NFL doesn't hype quarterbacks like Bo Nix loudly. It waits. As sources claim, teams prefer when players like him fly under the radar. Less pressure, less noise, more room to grow. And make no mistake, front offices notice everything fans overlook. Third down efficiency, red zone decisions, turnover avoidance. Those are the metrics that decide careers. Media narratives often chase flash over function. Nix delivers function with precision, and that's exactly why defenders hate playing against quarterbacks like him. He doesn't gift possessions. He doesn't force drama. He simply takes what's there and keeps chains moving. That wears teams down mentally. As seasons stack, the league adjusts, and Bo Nix adjusts faster. That chess match favors quarterbacks who think 2 moves ahead. And as sources claim, that's where his true greatness is forming, quietly, patiently, and dangerously. The scariest thing about Bo Nix isn't hype, controversy, or debate. It's inevitability. Quarterbacks built like him don't flame out. They take control slowly, methodically, and then suddenly they're everywhere in January. As sources claim, internal projections already see him as a long-term franchise quarterback capable of winning multiple playoff games when surrounded by the right pieces. Bo Nix is being developed with a very specific endgame in mind, and that endgame isn't just regular season relevance, it's postseason control. As sources claim, the internal blueprint around Nix focuses on sustainability in playoff football, where defenses tighten up and mistakes get punished instantly. This is where his game becomes genuinely frightening. He doesn't rely on backyard chaos or broken plays. He thrives when structure matters most. In January football, the quarterback who protects the ball, controls tempo, and converts third and medium is the quarterback who survives. That's Nix's sweet spot. Film breakdowns show how Nix consistently attacks defensive rules rather than individual defenders. He identifies leverage pre-snap, understands coverage tendencies, and takes calculated shots only when defenses overcommit. That discipline becomes lethal when opponents are forced to blitz late in games. As sources claim, coaching staffs believe his calm demeanor prevents emotional swings that derail young quarterbacks under playoff pressure. No panic throws, no forced heroics, just execution. Another overlooked weapon is how he commands situational football. 2-minute drills, 4-minute offense, red zone efficiency. These are the margins that decide postseason outcomes. Nix has shown advanced command in managing clocks, protections, and audibles, which allows coaching staffs to open the playbook instead of shrinking it. That trust changes everything. Play callers get aggressive when they believe the quarterback won't sabotage them. The scary part is that his style forces defenses into patience battles they often lose. Long drives wear down pass rushers. Short completions frustrate coverage units. Eventually, defenses cheat. That's when Nix strikes, not with reckless bombs, but with perfectly timed shots that break games open. As sources claim, this psychological pressure is what defensive coordinators fear most. You don't beat Bo Nix by waiting. You beat him by making 0 mistakes for 4 quarters, and that's nearly impossible. As playoff reps accumulate, the efficiency gap grows. Younger quarterbacks often regress when windows tighten. Nix sharpens. That trajectory points toward deep postseason runs once roster construction aligns fully. Quiet development now, loud results later. There's a noticeable pattern emerging among defenders who face Bo Nix: respect without theatrics. As sources claim, linebackers and safeties describe him as annoying to prepare for because he rarely gives them easy reads. He manipulates spacing subtly, forcing defenders to hesitate just long enough for receivers to separate. Those half seconds don't show up in highlights, but they break defensive integrity play after play. Pass rushers face a similar problem. Nix doesn't drift aimlessly in the pocket. He slides with purpose, resets his platform, and releases the ball before pressure fully arrives. That neutralizes elite edge rushers and turns blitz packages into liabilities. As sources claim, defensive coaches adjust by rushing fewer players, but that only gives Nix more time to dissect coverage. It's a lose-lose scenario once he gets comfortable. What separates him from typical young quarterbacks is emotional discipline. Trash talk doesn't rattle him, hits don't speed him up, mistakes don't linger. That mental insulation frustrates opponents who rely on intimidation to disrupt rhythm. Defenders quickly realize there's no emotional edge to exploit. That realization alone shifts momentum during games. Another layer that defenders quietly acknowledge is his willingness to take hits to complete throws. Nix doesn't shy away from contact if it means moving chains. That toughness builds respect and discourages reckless pursuit. As sources claim, once defenders hesitate, the offense gains control. That's quarterback warfare at its finest. By the fourth quarter, defenses aren't just tired, they're mentally exhausted. Every snap demands discipline. Every mistake gets punished. That cumulative stress is how quarterbacks win wars without fireworks. Nix embodies that approach fully. History favors quarterbacks who grow quietly, master fundamentals, and peak later, and Bo Nix fits that blueprint perfectly. As sources claim, analysts comparing career arcs see parallels with quarterbacks who were doubted early but dominated once systems stabilized. Those careers weren't defined by hype cycles. They were defined by longevity, adaptability, and postseason reliability. Nix's journey through adversity shaped his resilience. Early criticism forced accountability. Scheme changes forced adaptability. Public doubt forced focus. Those pressures hardened his approach instead of breaking it. By the time opportunity arrived, he was already battle-tested. That's rare in today's quarterback pipeline. The league often chases athletic outliers, but championships belong to thinkers who execute. Nix's growth curve suggests a steady climb rather than a flash peak. As sources claim, front offices value that trajectory more than viral moments. Quarterbacks who win consistently become franchise anchors, not social media stars. As seasons stack, experience compounds, defensive tricks lose effectiveness, pre-snap recognition sharpens, chemistry deepens. That compounding effect is what turns solid starters into perennial contenders. And Nix is entering that phase earlier than expected. That's the part nobody wants to admit out loud. The scariest truth is simple. Bo Nix doesn't need to change who he is to dominate. He just needs time. And time in this league is the most dangerous weapon of all. The league has seen this story before. A quarterback doubted early, labeled safe, overlooked, then trusted, then feared. That path leads to banners, not headlines. And Bo Nix is walking it step by step. The scary truth is simple. Once the wins stack up, the narrative won't matter anymore. Only results will. If this breakdown hit different, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories like this.